Hello and welcome to today's updates on for Bitcoin. We're going to talk a little bit about what's happening with the price action and a couple of tokens that I'm looking at specifically that's on my watch. So let's get started. So the first thing is for all you members out there, people who have been watching and all that, I released a coin list last week. Some people are brand new. So let me just go ahead and talk a little bit about the price action that you're seeing right here for Bitcoin. So first off, Bitcoin currently is in this green zone that you see right here. Now this green zone is defined as an area of resistance. Now I did post a chart a while back about this on Discord and also on Patreon, talking a little bit about these areas of resistance of this area here where Bitcoin traditionally struggles with. And again, it's not surprising that we're kind of pulling back from this area. So the correction that you're seeing really is a consolidation of people selling who were back here in August and people here back in July who, were trapped in here. So it's a healthy consolidation. It's a healthy sell-off. One of the things I always tell people is that, is this the end of the trend, or is this the end, or is this just a minor correction in the upper trend? And the reason I tell people that this is perfectly fine consolidation is because of the fact that, again, the price action has gone up quite a bit since July 18th when Bitcoin just completely ran up to 12,000. And I expect a backfill here at least, possibly to somewhere in the 10,000 range at some point. So don't expect these to continue going higher every single day. It just does not happen that way. There's a lot of support right here in this area around the 10,000. So if I'm definitely buying, I'm probably going to be buying somewhere around this range right here. Now that brings us to our next portion, which is what if it doesn't get to that point? Where are we heading higher? And our first line that you want to take a look at, the first area of resistance, is going to be about that 12,900 range. But it has to clear this zone first. So even after breaking here, I find support right here at 11,256. And I also find a lot of support here at that 9,500 to 10,000 range. And again, people have to be okay with being able to have these tokens, coins pull back, because that's really the nature of the game. It's really not about timing the market. It's about looking at long-term holdings. And I keep on emphasizing that, especially on days like where it's red. So the first thing you want to mention is that, are we on an uptrend? And the answer is yes, we are on an uptrend. On the daily chart, this is a great, representation of price action. And again, you don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow. You don't know if it's going to continue going higher, but you do know that obviously every single time we inch up here, it actually starts forming these really, really tight consolidation ranges. And depending on your chart patterning techniques, however you want to draw these, you could see that, we're heading into like a little mini flag here territory. So I'd say in the short term, consolidation usually means corrections. And again, I'm looking at that possibility of somewhere in that range. Now, tomorrow, I don't know what that's going to bring up, but I do know that, we're definitely going to get to that area. Now, moving along with some tokens that were talked, in times like this, one of the things that I always try to tell people is the fact that you have to look at tokens that are going against Bitcoin. Now, a couple of days ago, Comp was one of the tokens that was doing very, very well. In fact, if you take a look at Comp, it was doing extremely, extremely well here. We had about 60% move within these candles. I was able to capitalize on that really well, take some profits. It went up to about $270. Some people got in late, some people didn't take profits, and you had to ride it all the way back down. So most of the time when tokens run about that much, they usually give about half of it back. So Comp gave about 30% of that gap, from that point. And now we're back here at this range. And I think this is possibly a pretty good entry for anybody who missed on that run. Now, long-term fundamentals for Comp, I think there are a lot of fundamentals. They're just going to continue to pump money into the system. Obviously, if we break this trend right here, this upper trend, then all bets are off. But what I really like about this one is the fact that we have a lot of declining volume on that sell-off. And we're still starting to see some people still interested, waiting for that. So my guess would be we're probably going to revisit these highs at some point, and we'll see on this major trend line to see how far. But the project itself, it's a pretty solid one. It's counter to Bitcoin. It does not really run with Bitcoin, and so usually when Bitcoin falls, comp usually goes up. So that's a really nice one that I like to see. Now on to some of the other ones like OMZ. OMZ definitely is one of my top performers. This one was released again a couple of days ago. And as you guys can see, OMZ had this massive run. The buy area for me was around here. I was able to capture this entire move to the top side. Now that was on a coin release date last week. So, you know, some people got in, some people didn't. It just really depends on your risk tolerance for that. What I really like about OMZ in this case is that the volume is still really moving higher. So this is one of my tokens that I'm still considered to be a hold, even though it's pulled back. I mean, again, it's expected you pull back, but again, we're kind of hitting this area of resistance again, which is the breakout area that it did last time. And so if we take a look at that one day again, you can kind of see that OMZ has had a little trouble here at that $283 range, and now it's going to consolidate. My personal guess is we're probably going to get something like this. You know, another little long consolidation range within this area. But again, you know, this token kind of moves in staircases. It's like up, up, and up. So at some point, there's going to be another consolidation range for OMZ that I expect to happen, but it's going to take a while. So this token has a little bit of a, it's definitely controlled by whales, and it definitely has these long consolidation periods. So I just have to be patient with this one. But just to give you an idea, OMZ was a 60% move from these levels. Had to be patient for a very long time for this one. So this is not one of those get rich quick schemes that people tend to always ask me about. So that's another one that's really interesting. And back to our friend Ethereum. Ethereum is going to be one of those tokens that, you know, has quite a bit of potential still. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and remove these blocks right here. But if you take a look at Ethereum, you know, I was talking a little bit about that last time, about that area of resistance, and you know, that this zone that it kind of broke off from. So right now it's just kind of carving that out. Definitely for me, it's still an accumulate for Ethereum. Nothing has really changed. In fact, it's just gone a lot better. And you can take a look at these lines right here. For Ethereum, it's already gone kind of a little bit, I would say, established a new uptrend line that's a lot steeper, which means that the sell-offs that you're going to get for Ethereum are probably going to be a little bit more violent and a lot more volatility than what we saw in this phase right here. So definitely for me, I still have my target of around 500 or so for Ethereum. I think that's going to be the first pit stop. So somewhere around this area to kind of 500 and change, about there. So that's kind of like what I'm looking at. Okay. All right, guys. Well, this is the updates for you guys. And let me know if you have any questions. But again, you know, it's an expected pullback. It's not anything that's going to continue pumping. This market does not pump forever, and even at some point you're going to get some pullbacks. All right. CB out. Have a great day.